They put the cuffs on her right in front of my gate, the orange "No Trespassing" sign still nailed crooked on my fence, and the neighbors all stared like they were watching a live episode of some twisted reality show. That was the moment it hit me. If I hadn't come back when I did, I would have lost everything. My land, my cabin, my family's legacy, all swallowed up by a fake HOA and a woman who believed she could crown herself Queen of the Valley. 3 years. That's how long I'd been gone. I left the cabin for work out of state, told myself it was temporary, just a little break. Life pulled me away, but in my head, the place was still mine, untouched, waiting for me to come home. So when my truck bounced up that familiar dirt road and the old cedar posts came into view, I thought I was stepping back into a memory. Instead, I drove right into a nightmare. She was already there, Karen Whitmore. Blonde bob pastel sweater standing at my gate like she'd been rehearsing this moment for months. She had a bright orange sign in her hand, hammer in the other, pounding into my fence post like she owned the damn place. "Excuse me," she shouted before I even killed the engine. "You can't be here. This property is under HOA protection. Leave before I call the cops." I laughed not because it was funny, but because it was insane. "Lady, this is my land. I built that cabin with my own hands. Who the hell are you?" Her eyes narrowed. "Don't play dumb with me. I'm the president of the association now, and according to our bylaws, this land is restricted. That cabin doesn't even belong to you anymore." And just like that, neighbors started gathering like moths to a flame. They whispered, smirked some, looked embarrassed. One older man muttered, "Here we go again," under his breath. I could feel my chest heating up, that slow burn of anger, but I kept my voice level. "You put signs on my property without permission." She smirked, arms folded tight. "Your permission, sweetheart. You don't get a say anymore. You abandoned it. I've been keeping it under control. And now, if you don't leave, law enforcement will drag you off." Her arrogance was like gasoline. But instead of lighting it up, I just said, "Call them. Let's see what happens when the real owner answers the door." She snatched her phone like she'd been waiting for me to say it. Dialed, quick eyes darting around to make sure the crowd was watching. "Yes, this is an emergency," she announced, voice high and dramatic. "There's a trespasser on my property, armed and aggressive." I froze. Armed, aggressive. I hadn't even raised my damn voice. She was twisting reality in front of everyone. Neighbors shuffled uncomfortable, but no one spoke up. "Lady, that's a false report," I said through clenched teeth. "That's a crime." She waved me off, nails flashing. "We'll see who's committing crimes when the cops get here. Enjoy your last few minutes of freedom." I pushed past her, unlatched my own gate, and walked toward the cabin. She gasped like I'd drawn a gun. The new wooden sign she'd hammered up looked ridiculous against the cedar posts my father set years ago. Each one screamed her name, not mine. The wail of a siren cut through the mountain air, growing louder until a deputy's cruiser pulled up gravel, crunching under the tires. Karen's whole body lit up with triumph. She waved like she'd summoned the cavalry. "Officer over here, arrest him before he runs." The deputy stepped out, hand resting on his holster. "What's going on here?" Karen jumped in, jabbing a finger at me. "That man is trespassing on private property. He threatened me and refuses to leave. I want him removed immediately." The deputy's eyes slid to me. "Sir, is that true?" I met his stare. "No, deputy. This is my cabin, my land, my deed. I just came back after 3 years and she's been posting fake signs." Karen laughed sharp, almost manic. "Oh, please, he abandoned it. The HOA took control. I have every right to keep him out." The deputy raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, this county doesn't even recognize HOA authority outside city limits." Her face twitched, but she doubled down. "He's lying. Check the records." The deputy called it in. The crowd went dead silent. Karen folded her arms, jaw twitching. Dispatch's voice came back clear and cold. "Property deed still in the name of—" And then my name rolled out into the open air. Every head turned. The deputy looked at her. "Ma'am, looks like this land belongs to him. Care to explain why you've been reporting otherwise?" Karen's smile faltered, but she forced a laugh. "That must be outdated paperwork. I filed new claims through the HOA. Everyone here knows it." Neighbors shuffled awkwardly. Some glanced at the dirt. One man muttered, That's not how it works. I pulled the folded deed from my jacket. Updated deed. Taxes paid last month. County records back me. Still want to argue? Her face went pale. She jabbed a finger at me again. He forged that. He threatened me if I didn't back down. He's dangerous. The deputy's eyes narrowed. Did anyone witness that? Silence. Then a woman in a wide-brimmed hat spoke up. Officer, all he said was, "This is his land." That's it. Karen spun on her, screaming, "You stay out of this." The deputy's tone shifted hard. "Ma'am, making a false police report is a serious crime. Posting fake notices, trespassing, fraud. You might want to stop talking." And then another cruiser rolled up. But it wasn't just another deputy. Sheriff Daniels stepped out, broad shoulders, weathered face, adjusting his hat. My stomach dropped. I hadn't seen him in years. Karen bolted toward him like she'd won the jackpot. "Sheriff, thank God you're here. Arrest this man. He broke into my property and tried to intimidate me. I'm the HOA president. I demand protection." Sheriff Daniels didn't even look at her. His eyes locked on me, and for a moment, neither of us said a word. Then he shook his head, a small smile tugging his lips. "Well, I'll be damned. Thought you weren't ever coming back." Karen froze. "Wait, you know him?" The sheriff turned to her, expression like steel. "Know him. He's the rightful owner. I hunted with his family. His father left him this cabin fair and square." The crowd erupted in whispers. Karen's confidence cracked, but she clung to it. "Sheriff, you can't take his side just because you're friends. He abandoned this place. That makes it community property. The HOA has rights here." The sheriff cut her off. "Lady, HOA rights stop where private deeds begin. You've been trespassing, harassing, and filing false reports. Keep talking, I'll have you in cuffs." Her face drained of color. Neighbors finally found courage. The old man spoke up. "We told you this wasn't your land. You threatened to fine us if we didn't go along." A younger couple stepped forward, furious. "You said we'd lose lake access if we didn't pay. We gave you half our savings." Karen spun, panicked. "That money went to community projects." The deputy walked up with a folder. "Sheriff, we checked state records. There is no HOA here, no filings, no authority, which means every dollar she collected was fraud." The gasp from the neighbors hit harder than the sirens. Voices exploded. "You took thousands from us. You lied. You made us pay for your damn gate." Karen's sweater clutched tight in her fists. Her voice cracked. "I was protecting this place, keeping it safe. I stepped off the porch, boots crunching dirt, every eye on me. Protecting it. You mean hammering trash signs on my fence and scaring people off? That's not protecting, Karen. That's stealing." The sheriff's jaw tightened. "Karen, take those signs down. Apologize to these folks or I'll put you in the back of my cruiser." Her bravado shattered. Hands trembling, eyes darting, but the crowd wasn't with her anymore. They were furious, betrayed. The deputy whispered something to the sheriff. He turned back to Karen. "Interesting. You want to explain why the HOA account you've been running has been collecting money under your personal name?" Karen's face went white. "What?" "That's a mistake. It's official. Fraud. Impersonation. Harassment. False reports." The sheriff's voice was final. "That's enough." He nodded to the deputy. "Cuff her." The metal clicked. Karen jerked back, shrieking. "No, you can't do this to me. I am the HOA." Her words turned to laughter in the crowd, ugly, bitter laughter. She built a kingdom on lies, and it collapsed in seconds. But just before the cruiser door slammed, she locked eyes with me, voice low, venomous. "This isn't over. You don't know what you've started." For a second the air went still. Then the deputy shoved her in the car, and the sheriff turned to me. I didn't smile, didn't gloat. I just walked up to that orange sign, yanked it off my fence, snapped it in half, and let it fall in the dirt. This land was mine yesterday, it's mine today, and it'll be mine tomorrow. No one will ever steal it again. The neighbors clapped some, shook my hand, guilt in their eyes. The sheriff tipped his hat. Welcome home. And that was it. The end of her rule, the end of her lies. Because in the end, freedom isn't given, it's defended.